from July 2023. Rant B, Slowcation / nose tubes in the hospitals. The city at night. The giant squid on Vernon Hill. Suction cups to the windows. The motivation to prove that each person is not just one of these flash videos on the newly invented phone screens. Relatively new. Not 2,000 years old, or even 1,000 years old, or 100 years old. Promoting the ability to stand on the street and think, I don't know. Rejoicing in rapturous emotion. Good tears, happy tears, sunlight. Making sure that it is understood and supported by some constitutional right that we may look out our windows and observe without it being nefarious. Private thought in property. Putting 900 options between momentary discomfort and accusation. Actual realization that you live in a new age with enough resources to have peace, and that jobs are not like the movies, and we can put 70 small footsteps between now and a crime, and the populace taking responsibility for several black sheep who may just have more creative minds than those who want to retain ineffective order, both the creative object and the order subject to crumbling. Eating alone in a room. The fishes in the ocean itself and their cool rides of the surf. Hiding the word in one ghost's ceiling, and it not being so afraid of paternal authority as to not note the boys in the hospital beds, or their fathers, or the women who are really the calmest around, like sea clams. Leah, the lady, then young, who told me by her own observation that it is men who fear death the most. They, them, and the freedom of the individual so that they can be free and happy, for the debates would all be won by me, who reads so many books no one can talk to me. Nor so am I going to assert it is all study. Pride. 17 actuals. And 11, the telepathic mutant with a shaved head from the computer show Stranger Things. Black holes. No thank you, no. No thank you, no. No thank you, not today. No thank you, not today. Robbie Burns, born 1759. Robert the Bruce, born 1274. And porridge. No, no, thank you, not today. Ain't nobody can be that much higher by physics. Buildings. Hives. Jesus. Lao Tzu. The Buddha. Rosa Parks, born 1913. The Men in the Lobby. Novalis, born 1772. Heinrich von Ofterdingen, published 1802. You gonna eat that? No, no thank you, not this weekend. Writing physics. Benjamin Franklin. Old friends who do not forget what happened 13 Saturdays ago. Physical strength. China, which even means what? It's just a name, like jerk. If all writers are the same, then why are my shoulders round, and why must I stand up and drink my own coffee? No other writers have the same neighbors I do, and if there are writers in my neighborhood, I say you should read history, for there are too many Fugazi stories now that don't help anybody but perpetuate a notion that dreams are second to some pragmatic thing that is not even perfected. The boy who has a tube in his nose in the hospital, who will not benefit or survive no matter how many of our lewd adult divides. Seeing people naked. Workhorse. Perpetual motion in other physics. There's really no one to blame for death by cancer, is there? I still drink a Coca-Cola. Damn it. Rabbits, heresies, and the fact that this is not just idle banter, but poetry after years. Plus all we could do and say in a page packages the forever ever reverberating word, described mostly by geniuses in parks. The people I grew up with think less of the vagabonds than I do. And I'm sorry to say the truth favors the ones who held out at first. Slow burn. Word from the internet today. Salmon. Rawr. The point? The point is I want people to live now and after me. And for me, the next time I go west, it's the east for me. Grounded. Heaven, born 1993, from San Diego, who provided us all with a dark moon show for a hot afternoon. What a name. Breathing air. Hold on, kid. Wear a new hat today. Heaven lived in Boston, too. Look at the groundwork, marching like a nutcracker, soldier in the road. Hee hee. No, no thank you. Yes, a Cobb salad, please. Signs out there that could say, we don't want good enough or fine print by equilibrium and vitality for all. I'm the blind man in this hour, and that's okay. My tongue hangs out. Old brothers, you ain't never seen a man belt a sea like that, you satisfied fools melting away on beers I drank 30 years ago like it were a joke. Layers of a tree, God, old men who have been living with wisdom, who never got credit for it. The names on the war monuments each signify a different person. The musician Sade, born 1951, has become a best friend. Yeah, I'll grow up after the work today. For I can sit there snobbish late at night, like I'm disappearing and they'll never catch me again. But when it comes to make work of that quality, well. They're not witches, they're angels. They're not witches, they're angels. They're not witches, they're angels. Mantra. I'm a Catholic. Someone out there take my CV. I've got a novel to write in London in a few years. My soul's over here, up here. You can't have it even if you have the same style of hair. This home we make this year is a cleaning. And so the kids too can travel from here and eat pan and sing in the church. By George, there's far more to learn about than there is to ridicule and suffocate out. I love parks. Referencing the genius of others is not to claim their accomplishment, but to work in tandem with history and acknowledge what the older ones have been knowing and been up to as far as genius goes. Nicholas the Poodle works to assure there's more value than the names alone, but also confines himself to illusions like names are terms. Some ought to be. Some ought to create silence. With all due respect. The great teachers, for one. My own new hobby is not wearing deodorant to remember what a man smells like. I lent out a book on Goya's, born 1746, Black Period, that I've not received back, so I'll buy it again so I can read of Francisco Goya, who is not the food brand Goya. My starry soul has beat fame, thank others. Appearance, one-eyed, that old man in the wheelchair who defined Ra. Odin Street. He, young him, and Saint Vincent's with a nose tube can't inherit a world with no off-poets. Here's one more. No, me? No thanks, I'm a professor. The lesson, well, 700 yards away, a big old moon lady friend of mine dropped a seed. And then we noticed the very tall tree at the end of the parking lot by the dumpster. Vision. Dreams about Bad Dad Club. I guess she's free now. Last night in my room, free from beeping machines except those entertainment devices I sleep with, I decided to die to it all again, which is only possible, really, without craving intoxicants. Then the future is straighter, and the green grass is lusher, and, as I crumble alone, the world is free to change. And that name is far more literal device than is the man who wiggles with generations of unresolved problems, without even citing Freud's construct of the father. Where my bread and water at? I had strawberry jam and butter on my toast this morning. Less of the enemy and cultivating the style of working not to kill anything, but to garden that lovely notion, felt late at night when one feels more alone and free in the world. Before the day and the disorganized parade and the fears of what might go wrong, I will be the first to admit the sun is ferocious. That one will encounter what it means to live where a fiery star rolls over and heaves despite meaning. But one will overcome, war on. The motion of revolving around the abdomen is the moon around Earth. Bismillah. Sharpening prayer for him. And it's no less than that, for I remember when I was saved. Not every singular mind battles with megalomania. Police. And of course what moves us the most is not an icon. Bismillah. Old traditions and zeitgeist. Computer money. No idea what that coinage means yet. Granola, hitchhikers, and all that. What was that like? I'm not a car, I am a soul. There's been philosophizing about that for hundreds of years. Let's stop putting computer interviews on the street over the old Cretans who were bleeding out in rooms in towns for years, keeping it like stone. August agents in months without the sage. The fool, fine, but on purpose. Therefore the wisdom is the fool. Elementary teachers rise up and play more music in the classes. Nay, nonchalance, laissez-faire. Just water for me today, please, thank you. Coffee, of course. He sleeps. He's all toes for the children. Indigenous logic in the area, sure. Alleviating the breaking point, why? It never began. One was never born, Buddhist axiom. Cosmology, your wife, floor feet, and the utility of months, or even weeks of sobriety. Quitting drinking for a short time does not mean you have a problem, nor that you are weak, for you are not a berserker, nor the gypsy boxer in London's underground. Shapeshifter, I do believe that is a biblical term. The crack of dawn will be tomorrow, but it is 4:39 in the afternoon. Oxygen, lungs, vasoconstriction. Older artists motivated by the teens who are about to have a whole lot of energy for art and are going to need good art scaffolding. The 95 Club, inductions withstanding. I want to be the feeling of your favorite song being played, that one you forgot about, when my book is in a room. You want old porridge, mate? Who has the cattle prod now, eh? Starting the ghostly lawnmower in an apartment with linoleum floors, or at least I think that's what the floor is. And in that hospital bed, at this time, one is stronger than his parents. Can look out the window, sees all the cars going. The public can't care so much, but we could build God back up with devotion, and so many understand that. For that is understandable, more so than the tenet of having nothing to do on a beautiful day other than generate capital. I am old. I make healthy word salad. My grandma died, and I am alive and kicking, and she must think I'm a star. The motto. My competition is not the police, though. I think they are rather fishy, and the new recruits, my peers, should have required reading in the humanities, since this is a soulful city. And building criminal cases is certainly not absolutely necessary as water, and bread, and time, and patience, and we all make errors. Protect yourself from false wisdom. Aspire to build a balanced department. I will out-arm wrestle numerous of those sons of guns, and I ain't even paid like that. God bless ye. Rib on the floor. Rib on the floor. Moses' stone tablets. Welcome to humanity. Route comme de parlez-vous. And my own brand. And so we have abundance and less to blame, and we can know one another. We are different with unique minds rather than stats which we loathe. I can't eat the stats. I am not Robespierre, born 1758. Though I do have a robe. It is hot out. Picasso, born 1881. Clearly he had dinner inside of restaurants. This tongue of mine, it means so much, and I will not bite it. Having learned summers ago what we continue to learn over the summers, and that is good health, and help, and love, and love, and love. And that is all. and love and love and love. And go to bed. Have a nap, little boy. Rest. For the adults must cry, but you are strong like the people in the Battle of Little Bighorn, June 25th, 1876 through June 26th, 1876. I don't know what happened to them, but I do aspire to do more reading of books as time goes on, to learn of various revolutions. The moon, cartoons, years, life, earth, worth, and much has gone on in Temple. Amen. This is not that. Rest before teaching, but can still drink and enjoy black coffee.